Hey, it's Colleen.
Hi, it's Kate.
And it's Megan.
And we're the
Three Scheme Queens.
Each Tuesday, we take you on a deep dive into one of our favorite conspiracy theories.
If you have a sense of humor and an open mind, come take this journey with us.
We'll tell you what we think, and we'll try to prove it to you. Is this thing on?
Welcome back.
Hey, thanks for joining us.
Try to make that intro a thing, if you can't tell.
Yeah, that's good. I like it.
Yeah.
How's everybody doing today?
Yeah, we're heading to a holiday party after we record.
Yeah, this is like the 27th annual.
27th annual Wine, Women, in Debt.
Yeah, we love it. It's
My theme tonight's going to be Grandma Pink.
Oh, mine's Grandma on a Cruise.
Oh, I am still undecided on my outfit, so we better get through this. But looking forward to a little wine.
And women?
Yes.
A little
Love
money,
women.
A little shopping.
Yeah, this is just a super fun party that we have been going to for a while. Where just women sit around and drink wine and get silly.
Yeah.
Just
And
like
it's super fun.
Yeah.
And it's been going on longer since Colleen's been alive.
Literally, I'm 26.
Okay, guys. Well, I just first want to give a little plug. I want to thank our very first supporter of the show, Haley Grooms.
Woo!
I love you, Haley.
Yes, thank you so much.
I have known her since first grade.
How has she supported us, Megan?
She donated to buy us a cup of coffee. So for anyone out there who does want to support the show, the link is available on the Buzzsprout webpage, or you can go to our Instagram bio. And of course, in all of our show notes, there's a link. So feel free to click, make a donation if you feel so inclined, and we'll be sure to give you a shout out in a future episode. You can always follow us on Facebook, Instagram.
We have all of it now.
We've got it all now.
It took a lot of effort, but we have Facebook now.
Yeah, the username is the same for all of the accounts. The number 3, Scheme Queens, all one word. So yeah, check us out there.
And you can send us an email at
3schemequeens@gmail.com. Particularly if you have any conspiracies you're interested in hearing about, or you have any thoughts.
Or love mail or hate mail.
Yeah.
Send it all to the Gmail.
I would love to hear your thoughts, especially if you have like, no, this is not true, or oh my gosh, yes, I want you to keep going on that.
Yeah. Or if you're like an expert in one of these like topics we're talking about, like
we need your opinions.
An astrophysicist, for example, and you're like, what they said was incorrect or correct.
We try to be correct.
We do. We do a lot of research, but feel free to reach out and educate us and tell us what you want to hear.
Yeah.
Educate us, please.
Also, I just want to shout out all of the people that have reached out to us on social media, and
it's been very exciting.
It has via text message, any way that you have reached out to us. We so appreciate you guys. Like, can't believe it.
It's also been really interesting to see that like we're not the only people intrigued by conspiracy. Like you can pretty much talk to anybody and they're like, oh man, have you heard the one about?
And normally we have, because we live on the internet and we
got a long list.
We crawl out of our caves to record this. But
we appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's the best.
So is it time for our
drink check?
Drink check.
Oh my God.
That's good.
That's my favorite part of the day.
Okay, Maggie, what you drinking?
You guys, I am drinking the old reliable Diet Coke.
The old reliable Diet Coke. We almost have it in our laws.
Yeah. That we have to have a Diet Coke. So far, we've had a Diet Coke every episode.
Yeah, I know. Diet Coke. Sponsor us.
We love Diet Coke. We're Diet Coke addicts, and it's really slapping this morning. How about you guys? What are you drinking?
I've got a nice little Compass coffee here. Just regular coffee with a little oat milk, as Megan calls it, my boring coffee. But you know what? I'd rather drink more coffee than milk. So that's my hot take for this morning. Coffee over lattes.
I feel targeted because I'm also drinking a Compass latte that is, in fact, very milky.
But you guys, I don't know if everyone knows this, but espresso, like there's like 2 shots of espresso in that.
Yeah.
I think. I don't know how.
I think a regular is 2 to 3. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how Compass makes theirs, but I know Starbucks makes their medium drink with two shots. 2 shots of espresso has less caffeine than actual coffee does.
I like the flavor of espresso. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm. I thought you liked the flavor of milk.
That too.
But also, in case anyone's interested, in a different life, Kate was a barista. So she is our coffee expert. And Kate, I don't think your coffee order is boring. I just think it's funny that whenever I'm like, anyone want some coffee? She's like, no, it's too expensive for my coffee and oat milk, which is like a maybe $2 drink. That's more ridiculous. Enjoy your drink. You like what you like, you know? All right.
What are we talking about today, Maggie?
Yeah, I think we're going to talk about a good one. We're going to talk about the Montauk Project.
Ooh, the Montauk Project. All right. So this is what we need you to know about the Montauk Project before we go into any of the details. If you have not seen Stranger Things, this is a spoiler alert. Everything that has happened from the beginning of Stranger Things to the end of the last season, which was the 4th season, is fair game. So spoiler warning for those who have not seen Stranger Things. Also, if you have not seen Stranger Things, check it out on Netflix. We love it. And honestly, what have you been doing? Because it's a cultural phenomenon. So.
I was about to say, I think if you haven't watched it, you probably have no intention of watching it. And so you can feel free to listen. But
it's really good.
For sure. Yeah. We're going to talk about some Stranger Things stuff. So if you haven't and you plan to come back and listen to us later.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll start with my little summary for you guys. In the picturesque vacation town of Montauk, New York, is an abandoned Air Force base. Camp Hero was built in 1942 and was used by the Air Force during World War II as a coastal defense system. Between 1971 and 1983, there are reports of the U.S. government experimenting in an underground bunker. These experiments included time travel, teleportation, mind control, alien contact, and even the staging of the, quote, fake Apollo moon landings.
Wait, what?
I know. Guys, moon landings are coming in a couple weeks, I think.
Oh, my God.
I can't believe... I'm already digressing. I haven't got through the summary. But what I'm learning as we do this is that, like, the conspiracy theories are all intertwined, right? Like you believe one and you've got to believe like 10. Yeah. So anyway, back to the summary before we get into the discussion. So allegedly, the purpose of these Cold War experiments were to develop psychological warfare and were performed under U.S. authority using Nazi gold recovered during World War II.
Nazi gold?
Nazi gold.
What? I've never heard.
I'll tell you about the Nazi gold in a minute.
Okay. Like the Nazi gold rush?
I believe there was gold on a Nazi train that Americans found and they took it. And then I'll have to talk about funding for this and why we had to use the Nazi gold.
I love a train sequence in a movie.
This conspiracy theory originated based on reports of Al Bielek, who remember we talked about last week.
Good old Al.
Oh, that guy. Okay.
And Preston Nichols, who claimed to be program directors of the Montauk experiments before having their memories wiped, as well as people who report having been experimented on.
Oh, my God.
Oh, boy.
So, guys, what are you thinking? What are your initial thoughts before we discuss it? Did it happen? Did it not?
What the hell?
Yeah.
Everything's connected.
Yeah, the whole moon landing, I'm like, wait a second.
I'm starting to feel like that meme from the Philly. It's always sunshiny. Wait,
it's always sunny in Philadelphia.
Where he's like, oh my, like in front of the board with
we're gonna post
connected.
It on the gram.
Yeah, I'm like, what the?
I like in researching this topic before when we decided we were going to talk about this. I've been to Montauk, but I can't and we went to the state park, but I cannot remember the building with the, wait a second, did they wipe my mind?
I was just going to say, can you purposely not remember?
Wait, because we like walked around there. I went up into the like lighthouse.
Yeah.
Well, they even say
you can't go up there anymore. The banana antenna, is that what you're talking about?
The massive antenna.
Yeah.
They wanted to take the antenna down, but sailors and boaters were like, we can see the antenna better than we can see the lighthouse, so please keep it there. So it's interesting that you're like, I saw the lighthouse, but where was this big antenna? I will post a picture on a reel for you guys.
Yeah. But yeah, so it's just interesting that like people are like, how can you miss it? And I'm like, I don't remember it, but also, is that intentional?
I was going to say, was it on purpose? Oh, I've just looked up specifically the antenna. That thing's huge.
Yeah, it's huge, and it looks like a banana. That's what they call it, the banana antenna.
That's crazy.
So are you thinking,
initial thoughts is like, I would like to hear more.
This happened.
Yeah, Okay, Philadelphia Project. So Al, what's his name? Bielek?
Al Bielek.
Yeah, Al Bielek decided that, he came forward. He's like, I have all these repressed memories because he watched a movie.
Yeah.
And he was like, I
Same.
remember this boat and being a part of the Montauk Project.
Yeah.
So I feel like you kind of have to believe him, right?
I don't know.
Do you have to
I
believe
don't know if
the
we have
Philly experiment to believe this?
Well, you know, we're
'cause
gonna,
I didn't really believe that.
Yeah,
but
we're gonna talk. We'll
I
talk
want
about
to
it. I guess.
believe
'Cause we'll get into. I'll refresh you guys on Al and Al's story. Yeah, I think I've kind of just given you a crazy story without any information, so
Right.
it's kind of hard to have like an initial impression.
Right.
But we'll talk about it and then see where we all fall. Okay.
Okay, let's
All
go.
right.
So Al Bielek, he watched the film, The Philadelphia Experiment, which was released in the 80s. He saw this film, this like B film, and suddenly had deja vu, right? He had this deja vu and he was able to unlock all of his repressed memories of his involvement in both the Philadelphia Project and the Montauk Project.
Right.
And I'm going to need Kate's help because the most confusing part of this is the timelines. I mean, I had to like research. I was so confused by the timelines because there's a lot of time travel here. And I'm
Right.
so glad we have an expert
Yes.
in Stranger Things.
Yeah.
and in timelines.
Yeah.
Right.
Disney Plus.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
right.
Loki.
Yeah.
It always goes back to Marvel.
Disney
Doctor
is
Who,
our
Loki.
source. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nerd alert.
Yeah. Literally.
Okay, so I have to like read this part to you about these timelines because it's so wild. Okay, so Al Bielek, after he watches this film, he says, "Oh my gosh, I'm not even Al Bielek. My real name is Edward Cameron. I was born in 1916.
What?
And me and my brother Duncan Cameron
What?
were both aboard the USS Eldridge. That's the boat
Right.
from the Philadelphia Experiment.
Okay. And that was, the experiments were allegedly like in the 40s, right?
But
Because it was
then
like
time
during World
traveled.
War II. Yeah.
Oh
Yes,
my
World War
God.
II, where Einstein
Yeah,
was
Einstein.
alive.
Okay, guys, I just want to digress here and say that my husband called me out for not knowing that Einstein helped
I had no clue.
make the
The
atomic
Oh,
bomb.
I knew that.
He didn't
yeah,
really
that's
help
like the
make
whole
the
point.
atomic
but then you
bomb, but-
didn't know that he was alive during World War II.
I didn't know when he died.
I just want to be clear
Oh,
that
maybe I just didn't know.
one of us did
He
know.
lived a lot longer than you realize. Yeah.
But anyway, I had no idea that Albert Einstein created or was one of the creators in the atomic bomb.
didn't
But now
really
that makes
create the bomb,
sense.
but
Yeah.
He was involved. He wrote a letter saying we should do this because we got to beat Germany. But I think it's that all came back to me, that history after. I got to be honest, afterwards.
I promise I knew that.
Wait, you listened to a podcast and then your repressed memories came back?
Yes. But I did know he was alive. And Bourbon Boy was not the only person to give us feedback.
To be clear, Bourbon Boy, he definitely knows his history and he calls me out on it all the time.
Bourbon Boy's too smart. Okay,
About certain things.
we gotta knock him down.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he comes up with this random name, Edward Cameron,
Well-
that it's also very close to Edward Cullen.
Oh, I would like to point out this is close to Kirk Cameron,
Oh, I was thinking Edward
who's
Cullen.
also a conspiracy
I was
theorist.
thinking,
I believe was alive at that time and died from the Spanish
who
flu.
directed Titanic? Who directed Titanic?
James Cameron.
James Cameron.
Yeah.
Because guys,
We got an episode.
we
on
got like a
Titanic
two-parter
coming.
on Titanic
So
coming.
through theme through this is that Cameron is a very popular name in conspiracy theorists.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so he and his brother were both on the Eldridge, and they jumped overboard when the green, we talked about the green mist,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
Kate
yeah.
gave us a very good scientific explanation
Right.
of St. Elmo's fire. Okay, so when this green mist started, they jumped overboard, and then they traveled to a number of different places in a number of different years and ended up at Camp Hero in August 1983.
Okay, so they were born in the 1919,
1919.
Yeah.
and then
Or
so like
1916.
technically they should be like 64 when they're in 1983.
Yeah, 64. Okay. But here's, I guess, again, where it gets very confusing. Yeah, we're going to talk about the aging because the aging is weird.
I have a question. They jump in the water and the water triggers the
Well, I think they're like,
transported.
we're getting out of here. And so that when they leap off the boat, they get like time, they go through like
They
the,
get
the
stuck
time,
in the mist.
the time.
Oh, time space continuum.
Yes,
they
right.
enter the time space continuum, much like Loki and Thor in Thor Ragnarok, and then they have to like they get
Oh.
thrown out, and then they like have to they enter different places. You guys know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thor.
I don't even know
Thor
who
ends
Loki
up in,
is.
Yeah. Oh my god.
You don't know who Loki is?
I know who Thor is. The guy with the
Yeah, the guy with the hammer.
yeah.
Yeah.
Loki's like his
Loki's
bad
his-
boy brother.
Oh, is
Who's-
Loki?
who's
Tom
British.
Hiddleston.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
you
we
know
all
who
know who
Loki
that
is.
is.
Yeah, we do.
Taylor Swift's ex.
Yeah. Getaway car.
So it's 1983 now.
We have no idea how old he really is.
And they've got we'll talk about the age again.
Okay.
Okay, so we were in Philadelphia. We jumped off the boat. He says he went to a whole bunch of different places. He ends up in New York, Montauk, 1983, where he meets John von Neumann,
right.
who was a famous physicist and mathematician who did exist, but he died in 1957.
Wait, but he met him in the 80s.
In 1983. So he sends him back to the USS Eldridge, and he's like, you need to destroy everything, and you need to end this project. So they go back to the USS Eldridge, and when they time, and I'm going to, at the end, it's all going to come together about how they did this time travel, okay? Then they time travel back to the USS Eldridge. They end up right in the middle of the experiment that was happening. And so they're in the bowels of the ship, and so they're able to be protected from like all the people who are getting fused into the fuselage and all that. They're fine because they're like in the bowels.
In the
And-
bowels of the pleasure den.
They said they like transport in and they instantly just start like destroying everything. They end the experiment. That's how it ended up. The ship reappears in Philadelphia and it's all over, right? So they ended the Philadelphia experiment allegedly.
So they traveled back in time to make sure that the boat doesn't end up in different places at different times.
Like I think they were like, I mean, there must have been in a different timeline, as you explained to us,
Right.
like negative repercussions of this whole Philadelphia experiment, and so they're like,
You have to go back.
to stop
And
it and
reset
save the
it.
world.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ooh. We're gonna have to draft a timeline and post that on the
Yeah.
They go back and they destroy the
ship.
ship. And then after that, just before the USS Eldridge returned to its appropriate timeline and terminated this experiment, Duncan went back through a time portal and returned to Montauk in 1983 because he was, quote, programmed to do so.
What?
So now we've
hell?
got these brothers. We've got Al Bielek, born in 1919 on the USS Eldridge, and his brother Duncan is in Montauk, and it's 1983.
Oh my god.
So then Duncan, once he gets to Montauk in 1983, he starts aging extremely rapidly. So for every hour that passes, he ages a year.
Holy crap.
And
It's like Benjamin Button.
Tales of the Crypt.
and there's this whole weird story that somebody who's a part of the Montauk Project time traveled back to Duncan Cameron's dad. So we'll call him Duncan Cameron Sr. I don't know. Okay. And said, your son, Duncan Cameron Jr.
Daddy Cameron?
Yeah.
Can we call him Daddy Cam?
Okay, Daddy Cameron, your son is going to die, and we need you to have another son
Oh my god.
to save him. So Daddy Cameron, and again, I can't verify this. This was very hard to verify, guys.
Daddy Cameron became Zaddy
So Daddy Cameron, so Daddy Cameron has another baby, Duncan Cameron Jr. the second. I don't know what you would call it if there's like two juniors.
We'll call him Double D.
one in the
Yeah,
two.
Double D. I like that.
Yeah.
So we got Daddy Cams, we got Duncan Jr. and Double D. And
Okay.
Double D is born so that he can save Duncan Jr.'s life
in the future.
in the future.
Wow.
Yeah.
In the 80s.
This really feels like a sci-fi film.
Yeah,
doesn't
it does, yeah.
So Double D, he turns 12,
Okay.
and then these Montauk Project people,
Oh god.
They take him?
they transfer Duncan Jr., his mind and everything, like his essence, into
Oh my
the
God.
body of his 12-year-old brother, Double D.
Oh my god.
And they say, you are now Duncan Cameron.
And wait, so Duncan Jr., DJ, dies? His body dies.
Yeah, we don't know what happened to his
Wow.
body.
Oh.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
The plot
This
just
is
thickened.
weird.
All right.
Okay, so this 12-year-old Duncan takes
And
over
we're in
old
the-
Duncan's work, working on the Montauk Project.
and
which
we're
talking
in the
about.
80s.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
The 80s was a wild time.
The 80s really were.
And now, meanwhile, we have Edward still in his normal timeline on the boat, right? I'm sorry, we don't call it a boat when it's the Navy. It's when it's like a destroyer, the ship.
Yeah.
Right.
So
I'm on a boat.
yeah, so he's on the ship, and he has like the opposite issue now because he's done all this time travel and got stuck in the.
He's been too young.
He's aging back.
Oh my
Benjamin
god.
Benjamin Button, and so he becomes this toddler after going through all these age regression procedures, and he is sent to live with the Mr. and Mrs. Bialik. And they name him Al, I guess.
Whoa.
And he grows up and becomes involved in the Montauk experiments, which we'll talk about here.
Wait. When was he Edward?
So Edward was born in 1916, did all the time traveling, and then he goes back to the 40s.
The Philadelphia experiment.
To end the Philly experiment. And then he gets rapidly de-aged
okay.
Adopted and renamed
Al by his adoptive parents.
Yeah. Let's revert back to how I decided that the Philadelphia Project could actually have happened.
You went on a rant about timelines.
Okay, timelines.
Yeah.
There is one sacred timeline. We are on Earth 1.
Yes.
Okay.
But you believe that there's Earth 34.
There could be an Earth 34.
And that's
we just
where
don't
this
know
is
yet.
happening.
Right. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out how to explain this with different timelines. Now, we could say that he was born in 1916.
16.
Yeah, 1916. Okay, he somehow
got transferred to Earth 33.
So let's say he was born Earth 44 in 1916. Okay?
Right.
And then he got hooked up with the Montauk projects on Earth 44, but maybe not in the 80s. Maybe it was a different time on Earth 44.
But how's he able to jump around?
Well, I think because, as Megan's about to reveal, what were they doing in Montauk?
Oh.
They were time traveling.
Bum, bum, bum.
Duncan created the Montauk chair,
Oh.
which you sit in. It makes your psychic abilities, it magnifies them. It makes it.
Yeah, so the whole idea is that everyone, there's this different dimension that you can enter.
Oh, because this is what happens in Stranger Things.
Right. There's a different dimension that you can enter with your mind.
Right.
And the idea was that there are infinite realities, infinite timelines, infinite Earths. And if you can enter this dimension, then you can access your individual on a different dimension, a different Earth.
Okay.
So
I'm
you
following
enter
now.
this, and that's what this chair was about.
I'm 100% following.
Okay. Did that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. That's what it said. That's
It makes sense, but it just sounds full of crack.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it sounds absolutely okay. Guys, the reason why we are referencing Stranger Things is because Stranger Things is supposed to be based on this actual project.
I mean, it was actually called, the original Stranger Things was supposed to be called Montauk.
Right.
Oh.
And then there
They
was a
changed it.
lawsuit, and
Yes.
they had to change it.
So they had So
So it was
Stranger
going to be
Things-
set in Montauk, New York, on this base, but it had to get moved to Indiana,
Ohio.
Fact check.
I believe it's Hawkins.
Hawkins, Indiana.
Indiana.
You're right. Hawkins,
Oh.
Indiana. I thought it was Ohio.
Look who the nerd is now.
He's
Good
a
job,
new
good job.
nerd now.
So Stranger Things was supposed to be called Montauk,
Uh-huh.
and then there was and it was that's why Stranger Things is set in the 80s.
Uh-huh.
They're doing experiments on children.
We have 11 the child, and we'll talk about some people who claim to have been children that were experimented on. Again, because a lot of what we know is stories from these people. So
Right.
from Al talks about Duncan, who it sounds like Al claimed he had to convince Duncan that this is the story,
Uh-huh.
which makes it even more suspicious to me, right? Like you
This
have to
is-
persuade him that you were long lost brothers from different
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
timelines.
So Al, who's also Edward and Duncan, interacted.
Yeah, they worked together
Oh.
in timeline. They worked together in
Earth-
Montauk.
Yeah,
Okay,
Earth 44.
okay.
Yeah. And then obviously they were together on the ship in the Philadelphia experiment.
Right. But
Before
Al
they went
had
their
to convince
they went
Duncan.
their separate ways. And then when they met is they were like,
If a man came up to me and was like, "You're my sibling. You've aged rapidly, transferred brains."
Yeah.
No way I would believe him.
Really? Because you said you were gullible.
I am. Yeah, you're right.
You'd be like, hold on. Tell
Did
me
I?
more.
Yeah. And I do often think things happened that didn't happen.
Can you buy me coffee and tell me more?
Yeah.
so let me just tell you, and briefly also mention Preston Nichols, and then we'll talk about the things that allegedly happened in this bunker underneath the base, right?
Who's this guy, Preston?
So
now?
Preston Nichols. Now
New character alert.
new character. He self-published a book in 1992 called The Montauk Project: Experiments in Time.
Can you buy this book?
You can buy this book. So he published this book after like everyone's recovering these memories because they were all brainwashed, right? And then so he recovered these memories of his time as a researcher for the Montauk Project. He said that this chair that Kate was telling us about, the Montauk chair, at one point his bosses told him to switch on the chair and leave it running until August 12th, 1983, which is when the siblings ended up in their time travel from the Philadelphia experiment, right? They come.
They come back to 83.
Yeah,
That's
and
the
so
same
the fact
date?
that they like left this running somehow is how they were able to create this like wormhole from 1943 to 1983.
So they kept the chair running,
They were like, just keep the chair running until August 12th, 1983, which is like when.
but no one was in the chair. You just have to be outside of time. I think when we think of time, you have to think of it. We think of it in a linear fashion because that's how we live it. But if you think about time travel, you are outside of time. So time doesn't exist in time travel, right?
Yes. Yeah, because it's like you're like choosing where you want to be. So
Right.
you're not on. Yeah, you're
right.
not on
Much
that
like
line.
Loki in the last season.
Yeah,
You got to go
yeah.
watch it on Disney Plus. Loki time travels,
But
and it's called time hopping.
yes.
And he can basically choose where he ends up in the timeline. But the question is, how did they get that?
well, do you
ability.
have to sit in the chair? Like maybe the fact that the chair was on
Yeah, I mean, they said
provided them that power.
Well,
and it's about there was electricity on both ends because we had the electricity coming from the Philadelphia experiment and we had this electricity coming from the
Maybe-
Montauk chair. And that's how they had this wormhole. And that's apparently how the time travel initially happened to get these people
Right.
to
so they get
Montauk.
zapped.
Yeah.
So they zap from the boat to the
boat.
the ship.
The
Sorry,
destroyer.
The Navy people don't come for
Navy
us.
people always get mad when you talk about the boats. And they're always like, it's
The big boat.
not a boat.
Yeah,
Um,
it's a ship.
mhm.
Okay, so they get zapped from the ship to the chair via the electrical
wormhole,
field.
I guess, or whatever. Yes.
Okay, that's created, and the
And I guess that's how they get back. But then
green flash. But didn't they jump off the boat?
they
Yeah,
but
but
I don't think they hit the water. I think
they
they like
jumped off
left
the boat
They go
and
through the green mist.
They get stuck in the mist. And the mist is where the
Oh, the electric.
Drama
That's the
happened.
field.
Yeah.
That's the electric field.
yeah. So maybe by being in the mist, it like sent them through the wormhole to the chair.
Right.
Like
Okay.
And then they come back, and then I'm not really clear on. They said they think that Duncan was programmed to be like, once you
Whoa.
have accomplished your mission of
to go back.
ending the Philadelphia experiment, you have to come back. And so I'm not really sure how he got back, but it sounds like all of this was through this chair being on and the green mist.
Okay,
Yeah.
so let's just say that from this moment, the chair in 1983 that has to stay on.
Yes.
That is where they were before they went back to the ship, and then that's where they come back to.
Yes.
So so maybe they left time in the 80s, and they went back to the 40s.
I gotta be like on another level to understand.
You should see, Colleen and I are just like staring at Kate with our mouths open, like trying to comprehend.
I need something
It's all
stronger than
making-
coffee.
It's all making sense to me.
Yeah.
So
Hope it's making sense to our listeners.
I think we should recap. Al is not actually Al. Al is Edward.
You know, we're going to call Al for the rest of this episode because Al is what he goes by now. Al is what he is called in like every documentary and every special.
Okay.
But
Okay.
Al claims that he was actually born Edward,
Okay.
and his adoptive parents
Named him Al.
named him Al. Yeah.
After he became Benjamin Button.
Yeah.
Okay. So Al Bielek
Bielek.
was a part of the Philadelphia experiment, but didn't realize he was part of the Philadelphia experiment until he saw the movie in 1980.
Yes.
In 1988 or something, yes. He goes,
1980. Okay, so 1988, he sees this film. He's like, I lived this. Okay. So the whole idea, and then he's like, they wiped my memories. And then all of a sudden, it's all rushing back to him. He has this brother named Duncan.
Right.
Duncan and him are a part of this team to save the world because in the Philadelphia experiment, something goes extremely wrong. And they find out this in 1984 while they're a part of the Montauk experiment. So during the Montauk experiment, they're like, you got to go back. Who's that guy that tells him to go back? Newman's like, you got to go back. Something has happened that's terribly wrong. And we're going to put you in this chair in 84. We're going to send you back to the 40s you have to make sure that you don't get this boat to teleport. We don't want you to do that. Okay? So that's what they're saying. So they go back to the ship and they somehow stop the ship from teleporting. They save the day. There is still a green mist that we assume is from the chemical reaction from the electricity that they're trying to get the ship to be invisible on the to the radar. Not maybe to the naked eye, but invisible on the radar. So when that happens, they jump out of the ship into the water, but they don't hit the water. They hit the green mist and they are teleported back to the chair in 1984, where Duncan has realized that this is all he has been created to do.
He starts aging.
He ages very quickly, like a minute, a year, a year, a minute,
a year, an hour.
Becomes Tales of the Crypt guy, and with wrinkles all over him and just skin falling off of his face. And we go back in time to Daddy Cameron.
Yeah. And
Duncan Jr. tells Daddy Cameron,
pop out another.
Yeah. We need a guy to save me.
Give me double D.
Yeah. So he does his business.
With the same lady?
Yeah, with the same.
From what we know.
Okay. Yeah, does his business with the same lady. And they create Double D. Double D on this timeline turns 12. But Duncan Jr. disappears.
Yes.
That's the end of the story of we know
his
Duncan
physical
Jr.
body
after the other researchers at the Montauk Project do this like soul relocation into the 12-year-old body. Yes, we don't know what became of.
We know what happened to him.
Yeah.
It all sounds
sounds
very likely when you describe it like this, Kate.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you're good at this.
So 12-year-old Double D is now Duncan Jr., but in a smaller body.
And then put into the Montauk
a 12-year-old with like a brilliant mind.
Right.
So he's a 12-year-old.
12-year-old with a very high IQ. Okay, so he's lived his whole life in a 12, but he's a 12-year-old. Do we know that if Double D is part of the Montauk Project?
I thought,
or he just lives on.
He's part of the Montauk.
He becomes an experiment. Yeah. Oh my god.
Okay. Hold on, I'm tracking here. So at 12 years old, Double D is
an experiment.
He's in 1984 at 12 years old.
Yes. Yeah.
And he has like some wild psychic powers and all of that.
He's 11.
God.
He is 11.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Or is he 1?
Oh.
Is he Vecna? Oh. So 12-year-old, we know what happens to Duncan Jr. He's disposed of because he's no longer needed because he was only programmed for what he was programmed for. And so the government's like, I don't want you.
Yeah.
Okay. So they dispose of him, allegedly.
Well, he does interact with Al.
Wait,
but
Al,
Al,
what do you mean they're disposing of?
The government disposes.
No, but I'm confused.
People,
did they dispose of the old carcass or did they dispose of the soul of the 12-year-old?
No,
because
no.
the 12-year-old with the old man's
they combine,
soul in one is
he's
alive.
Yeah.
It's like a Dementor's kiss.
Yeah.
He just is a soulless body.
No, so they're saying that the old Duncan and the new 12-year-old Duncan have the same brain.
Yes.
So they're together.
So I know.
So now there's
the body of Duncan Jr. is like a body of someone who has received the Dementor's kiss.
Yeah.
Okay. So his soul is now sucked out. Megan has never read Harry Potter, so she has no idea.
I'm still staring at her blankly right now.
So then his body just like dies because it just gets so old that it.
I guess because Al was experimenting with Montauk, like Al experimented on his brother Duncan.
Well, they kind of like ran the experiment.
Well, if we agree that like the Montauk Project is real, if something is real, then like they could have wiped his memory.
That's so true.
And so in the 80s, like this all happened in 84.
Yeah.
In 88, his memories are like he
gets his memories back.
Yeah, he gets his memories back. So I don't know, guys. I don't know. Hold on.
Are we starting to believe in time travel?
I might.
I mean, I like that as I'm listening to you talk about it, I'm like, this part at least is just too wild to believe. But Kate's like, wait, as I talk it through, I believe it.
Wait, what I said makes way more sense.
You did clarify it a lot. However, I don't know if I think these people time travel.
No.
I will say
yeah.
Megan sent us a video to watch like before this, and there was like 2 guys in it that were like recounting stories.
Yeah.
And
Are you referring to the Christopher Garetano documentary?
Yes, I am that guy.
Yeah, Montauk Chronicles.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to go over the other people that were in that really quickly here. It's not going to be quite as in depth as this other summary, but I'm kind of with you. So we'll talk about the documentary in a minute too.
From now on out, we're calling 12-year-old Double D Vecna.
Okay. We can just call him Final Duncan.
Okay.
Oh,
Because
I like
it's the
Double D
final
then.
form of Duncan.
Yeah.
The final D.
Yeah. Perfect.
Let's talk about Preston Nichols now. Okay. In that documentary, you're referencing Al Bielek, Preston Nichols, and some other people we'll get
So
to.
this is another new character.
Yeah. So Preston Nichols, he self-published a book in 1992 called The Montauk Project, Experiments in Time.
Wait, those are the guys that were in the documentary?
Al Bielek was the guy in Florida.
Of course he's in Florida.
Yeah, of course.
So again, watch the documentary that's in the show notes.
Yeah. So let me tell you about Preston Nichols. He's in the documentary that Kate just referenced. And he self-published a book in 1992 called The Montauk Project, Experiments in Time. He published this book after he, quote, recovered his memories of his time as a researcher on the project. So-
Another one.
Yes. So far, these people we've met are not people being experimented on, except sort of Duncan we'll talk about, but like people who are running the experiment.
Oh my God.
I just want everyone to know that I just suppressed a DJ Khaled. Another one. But I just had to do it.
But then you didn't suppress it. Preston Nichols, he alleges that in the 50s, researchers from the Philadelphia experiment wanted to continue their research. They weren't like done. And they wanted to focus on the psychological effects of magnetic field and see if they could use these like tools to drive the enemy insane. So they were like, you know what, we're like fighting the Germans and we could like flip a switch and they could all start like hallucinating and going crazy. And so that was their goal. They wanted to experiment so they could like try to do like psychological warfare with these people. His story is like, they actually, these researchers, these higher ups went to Congress in the 50s.
Oh, okay.
You got it. I know the timelines again are very confusing, Kate. Now we're back like into the 50s. And they were like, we want to do this research and see if we can like develop some psychological weapons. And Congress is like, no, we're not approving that budget.
too
That's
dangerous.
dangerous.
Right.
No. So what do? They go over Congress's head to the Department of Defense. And Department of Defense is like, yeah, let's do it.
Those
But
crazy DODs.
but first of all, since Congress already said no, we got to make this like top secret, classified. We can't talk about it. And number 2, how are we going to pay for this? How do they pay for it, Kate? $10 billion in gold stolen from the Nazis.
Oh my God.
We're full circle.
How did the Nazis get gold?
Wait, so this is like Fight Club?
Yeah.
Number 1 rule?
Yeah.
You
Don't
don't
talk
talk about
about
Fight Club?
Yeah.
Well,
Don't
think
talk
is
about
that, like, for all
Montauk.
top secret things. Don't
Yeah.
talk about them.
Yeah, Fight Club. Brad Pitt.
Wow. So I didn't know
Looks great in that
Nazis.
movie.
I didn't know Nazis had gold.
When did the Nazis get gold?
How did Nazis get gold?
Wait, was this trained in America?
We have too many questions for Megan. Yeah.
She's like, guys, I scoured the internet for details about this alleged project
just-
that is so confusing.
I'm also this whole time travel, all this stuff is like giving me Bucky from Captain America vibes, and I'm just like,
were they frozen on ice?
that's what I'm saying. I'm getting re-inspired to like read Bucky stories.
Oh,
I love Bucky.
I love Bucky too.
I know.
I love Steve Rogers more.
I don't.
That's okay. We can disagree on that.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
I have no clue what you guys are talking about, but I just want you to know that
Captain America.
Yeah, what the
Oh,
hell?
okay. That right. When I type in Nazi gold, the first thing that pops up is a Wikipedia article that talks about they looted the victims.
Okay. Oh, the money from the victims of the Holocaust.
Like people who went to concentration camps.
Yeah,
They would like
the
they
victims
took-
of the Holocaust.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's how they got their-
So they got all this gold, and
Because it
so
was
they had.
millions of people.
It says,
okay.
So this is how they funded their projects.
Yeah. So in 1998, Swiss Commission estimated that the Swiss National Bank held $440 million, which would have been the equivalent of $8 billion in Nazi gold,
Whoa.
over half of which they think was stolen from people.
Wait, okay. Let's pump the brakes here for 1 second. We are trying to fund a project in the 50s, in the Cold War, using Nazi gold, who we just beat in the World War II.
Yes.
This is so backwards.
I will.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of conspiracy theories about where remaining gold is. But I will say that it says that
Isn't there a conspiracy theory out there that Hitler like survived?
Yeah, and he's in like Brazil.
I don't know if they came across this deserted. I don't know what the story was, but there was a train. There was a train, but I don't know. Like, was the train running? Were there like Germans on it, Nazis on it? Was it just like an abandoned train? Was there like a fight?
Okay, so unclear how we got the gold.
Bucky was on a train.
Oh, Bucky was on a train.
Hold on.
Oh my God. Are you saying that Bucky
Captain America was real?
and Bucky?
And Bucky. Anyways, okay, so we get money, and now they're funding this experiment.
We have talked about all these people, and like we haven't even really talked about like what were they doing on these experiments, right?
Okay.
So these experiments that allegedly happened, and so now we've done a lot of different timelines, okay? But the Montauk project, once people did all finish their time traveling and ended up wherever they ended up, occurred 70s and 80s.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm
Yes.
following.
In the 70s, early 80s, the following experiments were allegedly happening
Oh my God.
in the bunker underneath the antenna.
Okay.
In Montauk. Teleportation. I think we've talked about that a little
Yeah.
bit. Time travel, and we talked about the
Yeah, we got that one.
porthole.
Mm-hmm.
There was like initially what they called like an unstable porthole in time that was created, and people time traveled, and they time traveled so frequently that it like solidified, and then it became known as the time tunnel, and people could just travel to whatever
That's a
time
sick
they
name.
want.
I'm just like getting flashes of Stranger Things. Like
Yeah, that
all
big
those
hole.
people in the
Yeah.
Will. Yeah, where is Will?
Yeah.
Not our friend Will.
Yeah.
Who probably is not listening to this podcast at all. That like big
A
crack,
hole. Yeah.
hole, and like all those scientists are just there monitoring it, and it goes into the upside down. Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah, it's giving me
Okay.
Vibes.
What else did they do?
alien contact.
Oh, hell yeah.
Here's what I love. I actually did have to send Colleen this because
Hell yeah.
because in the documentary, Preston Nichols is talking about how they had alien contact.
Oh my God.
And they exchanged technology with
No
the
way.
aliens.
Yes.
No
Yes.
way.
And
Yes.
No way.
And that's how he got all the technology for this. And then I love because Kate and Colleen often argue that like things couldn't have happened because we didn't have that kind of technology in
This
that
is
era
how we
or
got
whatever.
the technology.
And like we'll talk about that when you hear the moon landing. But
Didn't Michael
but
say
Preston
this? Michael,
Our Uber
driver?
driver.
Oh my God, we haven't referenced Michael this one.
Yeah.
He did say this.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Is Michael?
I think Michael might be way smarter than we gave him credit
Yeah.
for.
Wait.
Everything he talked about on that Uber ride has been proven, like,
Has it-
allegedly.
allegedly.
Have we had proof? No.
No proof.
No proof. Yeah.
Yeah, Preston Nichols says in this clip, like, if you look at time, we had like slow advancements in time and improvements in time.
And then suddenly.
But all of a sudden, over like the last 50 years, it was just like the exponential increase in
it was
like the technology. And he's like, that doesn't just happen in a normal society. What happened is we met the aliens and us, like we exchanged technology. And
This is
that's why
crazy.
we had this like rapid technological advancement.
Wait a second. When was the internet created? In the 90s?
the 80s.
Was it the 80s? 83.
Shut the fuck up. Oh my God.
Holy moly.
I'm dead. I'm actually dead. Shut up. Guys, this is real. This is real. This is real. We met aliens through the Montauk experiment and had internet because of it.
What would our life have been like then if we had never met if like no one had ever encountered the aliens? We would.
Oh my God.
The podcast
Also,
wouldn't be around.
To reference Twilight again, the author of Twilight wrote a second book called The Host. Have
Yeah.
either
Oh,
of
I
you
did.
read
I
it?
have not
Host,
read
Where
it.
it's
no.
like aliens are like put into
like
our brains.
yeah, like the animorphs. Did you read that?
Or whatever. And just like
No.
Duncan, like how they morphed his brain. You know what I mean? Maybe Stephanie Myers knows what's up.
Maybe.
Shout out Stephanie Myers.
Yeah. She's crazy. So anyways, we have the
we had
internet.
the alien
Holy
contact.
crap.
Okay.
What else?
Then they did a lot of mind control experiments, and they conducted these on homeless people and runaway boys. So is this giving you Stranger Things vibes?
Oh my
Yes.
God.
Yeah. So they underwent pretty much, they were like, they would physically and mentally torture them until they broke.
Yeah.
And then their mind was like pliable.
That's so
that
sad.
they could
It is really sad.
reprogram them. So and it was, here's the thing too, I don't want to get into the spoiler, but I'm kind of with what Kate was implying, that I have thoughts about this and like what could be true and what couldn't be true, which we'll talk about. But I think regardless of what you think, I just don't really have a lot of faith in these people that were interviewed, like Preston Nichols and Al Bielek, and they all sound very sketchy. But like, and they keep giving different numbers. Like at one point, they say that like, oh, there were like 100,000 kids killed, and people are like, okay, 100,000 kids just like
That would've been
died and
noticed.
nobody
Vanished.
like could explain
Yeah.
it. But then somewhere else they're like, oh yeah, like 10,000
Yeah.
kids. So it's like they don't even
10,000
have.
is still a lot.
Oh, it is. But I mean, I was like, there's no consistency.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, mental mind control experiments. Apparently, the AIDS virus
What?
was created.
And the internet.
And the internet.
And the internet.
Oh.
You guys,
Full circle.
it's literally in my notes that the internet was created.
And she
Because
forgot.
someone else figured this out before Kate figured this out.
This
Oh.
is crazy.
My God. I could, hold on. I'm kind of believing this.
A little bit.
Uh,
I'm believing
Right.
it.
I feel like there are
I think we
kernels
got-
of truth.
I think
Yeah.
I gave you guys like the most absurd stuff, and now we're gonna get to the stuff where you're like, wait a minute.
Like there were definitely
Yeah.
experiments, and there was definitely shit going on.
Yeah.
And like,
Yeah.
this is feeling real.
And then also, as we mentioned, this is where they staged the quote fake Apollo moon landing.
It was definitely fake.
We're going to talk about the moon landing.
Yeah, we
my
have
friends.
thoughts.
We have
Yeah.
very different thoughts. We'll get into that in another episode. Okay. And so
And
we had
also,
this-
like, that's the one thing that I'm like, that's
it's kind of like
Yeah.
like
I
Colleen with
believe everything else, but
It's kind of like Colleen with the muzzled dog.
Oh.
Like, in the Princess Diana episode, like that's the thing.
that's an obscure fact.
But what about the muzzled dog?
Why was it muzzled? It was in a car.
Anyway,
that is kind of, maybe you didn't want it to bark.
I don't
Maybe
maybe he was being trained or
See,
something.
guys,
No,
there was
wait.
more to the dog than we
wait,
realized.
maybe he didn't want him to bark because they didn't want anything to like tie him back.
Exactly.
Like nobody wanted to know. Like,
Well, why wouldn't you have just left the dog at home then?
okay, Megan.
Send us
This
your
is-
thoughts.
none of this is
about the
logical.
dog. Yeah. Anyways, back
We
to
digress.
Montauk. Yeah.
Yes.
What else did they do? There was
So we
something
talked
else
about that Montauk chair, and it's just talking about how they would like do a consciousness amplification in this
Crazy.
Montauk chair, and then they also. This is also a throwback to Stranger Things. Actually, the very first experiment they had them all doing, these like kids they were studying, was the quote seeing eye. And so these kids, or again, Duncan, who in this 12-year-old body was a genius, but he had all of these like psychic abilities. So he was one
Oh
they
my
loved
God.
to put in the Montauk chair. But the seeing eye, so you would hold something like some hair or an object that belonged to somebody, and then you could instantly see what they could see,
Yeah.
hear what they could hear,
Yeah.
smell
Wait,
what they could smell.
Is
Oh
this
my
not
gosh.
what 11 could do?
I have chills.
yeah.
11 could do this, right?
Full
In
body
Stranger Things.
chills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa.
He also reported, Preston Nichols, that they housed a lot of different living creatures from other planets and dimensions. And so, again, he publishes this book in 1992, and then all of a sudden, these people start coming forward being like, oh, yeah, kind of like that movie about the Philadelphia experiment, right?
yeah.
Like, oh, yeah, wait, I was there.
Oh my God.
I'm having memories
They
come back.
all got warped. Wiped.
Obliviated.
Obliviated. Is obliviated a word?
It's a Harry Potter reference. And
But
I
is
can't
it a real
believe
word?
we have gone through
Is
this
this
many without you being like, what does that mean?
No, I was like, I think she means obliterated, but
No,
I'm just
obliviated.
not going to correct her.
Is obliviate a word, or is that made
No,
up
I think it's- I
specifically
think
for
it's
Harry
a-
Potter?
It's obliviate is the spell that
Oh,
you use to wipe
um,
someone's memory in Harry Potter.
I treat it like a real word.
Me too.
Yeah.
Obliviated.
Yeah.
It sounds like a real word.
Yeah.
It is a real word.
I believe it.
Yeah.
Anyways,
We digress.
We digress. These people who came forward, the most famous and outspoken is Stuart Swerdlow. He was also in the Montauk Chronicles documentary that you saw, and he was the one who was, the first two were like, oh, I helped run it, and this guy was like, I was experimented on.
Mhm.
What'd you
Whoa.
think of him, Kate?
Very strange individual.
Yeah.
trustworthy? Like
I would say
No.
not very reliable. I think it sounds like he was
Might be
trying-
mentally ill.
Yeah, he was like trying
they
to get
all kinda
sort of
sound
a
like that.
But I mean, if they did have their, like, they went through all this psychological
uh-huh.
torture,
maybe they would be.
would
meant
be.
to- I
right?
would be. Yeah.
Yeah.
he talks a lot about what he experienced, but then he'll say like on Real Housewives, they'll always have big fights because they'll be like, I can't even tell you what Kate said. It was so bad. It was so bad. But I can't even tell you. And it causes the drama for the entire season. And then in the end, you find out what Kate said, and it was like not a big deal.
It's like those shoes are blue.
Yeah. So like that happens all the time in Bravo. Fight. So I feel like he kept being like, the things they did to me, they were so terrible, I can't even tell you. And not to minimize like people's trauma, but also like if you can't, like, I'm just supposed to believe that all these things happen that are so terrible you can't even tell us what they were. Yeah. You know? That was a little suspicious.
All right.
So he's kind of the most famous one, but I think he tells a story and he's looking for a little attention.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. And then there's also a number of other people who have come forward. There was like a park employee who had hypnosis, and now he thinks he was one of these, quote, lost boys. There was someone in the documentary who like was all concealed, right? He didn't want people to know about him. Yeah. So there have been a number of people who've come out. And then, so kind of to wrap up the story, and then we discuss it, let's talk about how the project ended.
Whoa. I cannot wait for this.
Oh,
this
they know
part
something
is-
I don't know.
Yeah.
And actually, I'm going to pull up some pictures for you.
Oh, God.
Okay, so the Cameron brothers, so this would be Al Bielek and Duncan.
Right.
Double D. Decided that this experiment had gone too far. We're crossing lines. Finally, we're crossing some lines.
They believe that.
Yeah.
Right.
So Duncan was in the Montauk chair.
Oh, God.
And they had this code ready. So someone whispers to him while he's in the Montauk chair, which is amplifying his consciousness.
Oh, God.
And they say, the time is now.
Oh, my God.
And
That
he
gave me shit.
instantly imagines in his brain a hairy beast.
Oh, my God.
And because he's in this like amplification chair and he's got these
it
psychic
becomes
abilities,
real?
it's real.
No.
So they unlock
No.
this.
No.
The Demigorgon.
Yes, this hairy beast.
Oh, my God.
And he's running around the base, causing destruction.
No.
They called him Junior.
Of course they did.
Oh, that's creepy.
So
That's really disturbing.
Wait, is it Vecna or is it the Demigorgon?
Oh, I forgot that there's two beasts.
And then there's also the Demidogs.
Right.
yeah,
Okay, but Vecna,
It's like
spoilers for season 4.
Vecna is Vecna would be if Duncan became a monster, right?
Yes.
But this must be the Demigorgon.
So Junior wreaks havoc on this base. Oh, not unlike the Demigorgon in Stranger Things.
Right.
But there's kind of different stories. So there's apparently all these people who saw this monster on base had like different descriptions
Right.
of what he looked like, which is okay, fine. There also is some local lore that maybe this monster is still alive and it's being
No.
kept under Camp Hero.
Should we make a day trip to Montauk?
I
Or
mean,
I
weekend
love
trip?
Montauk. I will go back.
apparently they filled in all these tunnels and everything
Right.
underground.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
They filled
They cemented.
they cemented the tunnels underground.
Junior's down there.
You think?
Yeah.
Well,
being
and
mon-
but
it-
like these documentarians are like, I can hear something.
Junior's down there.
Well, so they were like, there's definitely like
Poor
levels
Junior.
below the ground,
Right.
And I think there was like a elevator shaft or something.
Yeah.
And so they're like, we look down, we know there's something down there, and they could hear things,
We have to go.
but
Oh my
also
gosh, this is so scary.
they were like trespassing
Yeah.
on this government
'Cause
property.
it
So
says
he's like, I
you
can't.
you can't. There's like
Oh
signs that
my
say no
God.
trespass. I mean, it is
I want to.
it is suspicious.
It is
I want to
suspicious.
go there. I want to go there.
Also, if it is like not being used anymore, why don't they just knock it down?
Maybe they're still feeding Junior.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Why were the tunnels filled in?
So that Junior can't get out.
Yeah, but
Oh, he's
isn't
just
that suspicious?
Don't be suspicious.
That's weird.
Don't be suspicious.
That's suspicious.
Yeah,
That's
weird.
So there are some people who think that this monster is still alive, right? But there was also this is real. This has been proven.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
We got proof on this.
Oh, we got
We
proof.
got real proof.
This animal washes ashore in Montauk in 2008. This dead
Whoa.
carcass
oh,
Oh,
that
we got
looks like this.
a
I'm
picture.
going to show you guys, and we'll post it to social media.
I'm frightened.
Why?
Oh my God.
But-
wait a second. Okay,
Ew.
you guys, it looks like, oh my gosh, it looks like a pig, sort of,
Mm-hmm.
that is in a manatee's body, but also somewhat like a bear.
But also
Um,
sort of like a pig.
I feel like
but-
it's
but
small.
has
I feel like
dog
it's pig
ears.
size.
And the mouth is like, there's so many teeth, it's wide open.
So this creature
is
washed ashore in
not right.
2008. Now, They did say
The thing is horrifying.
that they thought this could be an animal from a nearby Plum Island, and they wanted these like cryptozoologists to come and study this carcass. But
it's got a
you-
tail?
Wouldn't you know it? The body disappeared before anyone could study it.
Of course it did.
Oh my God.
And then another one also similar washed up in 2020. Which
Guys,
actually
this
makes
is
it-
a demi-dog.
Oh, that makes much more sense.
This
It's definitely
is-
dog size. Because here's actually my impression. Of,
Yeah, it does
of
look
this,
small.
Is I think that if you look at some of the pictures, I think it could just be like a dog or something that has like partially it was like in the water,
It looks
floated, and it
swollen,
started to
yeah.
kind of decompose.
But the mouth.
But I think the mouth could be like partial decomposition.
Yeah, but how did the body just disappear and then
I'm going
there's
to
no studies on it?
decide to believe that it's a monster.
Yeah, it's a demi-dog.
Because if that's a dog, that's
but I
sad.
think it looks
Yeah.
small. No, but I mean, it looks. I don't think it's like the 8 feet or 10 feet that some people were describing this
Right, it
monster
looks
as.
small.
It looks small. But so if you're saying it's like the demi
It's
dog,
like the demi-dogs.
though, I can.
That's a
get on
demi-dog.
board with
Mhm.
that.
Yep.
And the rest of them are just making a ruckus underneath the.
Or
Wow.
they just
How
like,
did it
got burned or something.
get out?
I mean,
Oh my gosh, hold on. The ship?
Stop.
Wait. Philadelphia is not far from New York.
Montauk.
The dog was on the ship.
Why would they have a dog on the ship?
And maybe it got
The
time warped.
demi-dog got sucked back into time.
Oh, like followed them.
Whoa.
Maybe that's what they were trying to stop. Maybe they were like, this is a problem with the demi-dogs have gotten
That's
out.
great. This is crazy. Guys, I kind of believe this shit.
I do too. I do have
I
a
kind of
couple.
believe it.
I have questions.
Okay, I have a couple of like theories that people have offered up as like alternative theories, and I'll tell you what I think, and then I want to hear what you guys think.
Okay.
So there was a local, Paul Fagan, who spent 14 years studying the space, and he thinks that there was probably like a nuclear reactor that was buried as part of like the Cold War,
Oh, so it's
Mhm.
like
and so that's why they had to fill it in with concrete,
so that,
and
like
that's
radiation.
and
Yeah,
that's why
it's a
they're so
likely
like
story.
secretive.
I don't like this Paul Fagan guy.
No.
Yeah.
He doesn't like to make believe.
But and he thinks that maybe this story was all like a distractor from like the scary shit that was actually happening.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
It will be noted they've had multiple surveys done, and there's definitely something below the base, but they have no blueprints or mapping.
Of
That's
course
odd.
they don't.
Yeah.
Of course they don't.
So there's
This is-
that.
yeah.
It was destroyed.
And I also saw there was another
But
theory.
I want to go back to the monster for 1 second.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So Double D, who's in the chair, Final D.
Yeah, final D.
Final D is in the chair. Yeah. And he summons this monster. And the monster goes in and he like destroys everything and everyone. Does this not sound like Vecna in season 4?
Yeah, I can see it.
When like Elle is like the only one that survives.
I can see it. Yeah,
And
because
she's
Duncan could be the
remembering-
only one.
She's
Yeah.
remembering like that horror
Oh
scene.
my god.
That's why I'm like, is Double D Vecna? Is Final D
Oh.
Vecna? And he's and he destroyed everything except I don't know. People got out apparently because there are some eyewitnesses who say that they were there. And this,
allegedly.
and the upside down is the time warp, the time capsule that people can walk through.
The time tunnel.
Crazy.
The time tunnel. Yeah.
Oh, and then they cemented it shut.
And they cemented it shut.
Whoa. Except for the elevator shaft.
So hold on a second. Is Double D the one who's still down there?
Is that who you hear?
Is it Vecna?
Because we don't know how Duncan finally died, right?
Yeah, he just suddenly is not talked about anymore.
Yeah, I mean, someone
What
might
if
know.
this
Feel free to comment or email us and let
Yeah.
us know what happened to
Yeah.
Duncan. But
What if this monster wasn't actually summoned? It was just him,
Oh
and
my
he
God.
created himself. Because that's
This
what
is-
happened.
Mhm.
That's what happened. He becomes the monster.
This is hurting my brain.
Actually, I guess he gets sucked into the upside down, and then
Yeah.
he becomes the monster.
so it sounds like you guys leaning towards parts of this may be true?
I
Yeah.
think, yeah, there are kernels of truth.
Okay,
yeah.
this
Because
is
here's
what
what
I
I want to.
believe.
Okay.
I believe that the government could, like, conduct
yeah.
experiments.
The government has conducted experiments.
What?
What?
Are you
No, wait a second.
No. There's proof?
There's
There's proof.
There's proof. When
So,
did this happen?
It is, yeah. Okay, so we now know that there have been declassified projects on paranormal phenomenon, like multiple times over, multiple eras by our U.S. government. So in 1978, Project Stargate occurred at Fort Meade in Maryland. DMV. They focused on this like remote viewing and I guess like the seeing eye type
Right.
experiments.
Yeah.
And they denied it happened. Eventually they declassified it and everyone's like, no, it definitely happened.
Right.
There's no question. The government's like, yep, we did it. It's bad. Okay.
Whoa.
So
Okay.
1995, they ended the study and they declassified it. And now you can go online and read about it. Project Stargate. But the bigger one, MK Ultra.
Sounds
This
like
was
a beer I like.
Yeah,
That's
Mick
what-
Ultra.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mick Ultra.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Berkey fam. We all like that beer.
Water.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's not my beer of choice. Locale, I guess, but
Yeah.
water.
Yeah.
CIA program from 1953 to 1973. And it researched methods to manipulate brain function. So they did a lot of different things. They gave like psychoactive drugs, electroshock, sleep, sensory deprivation, hypnosis, isolation, verbal and sexual abuse,
Oh my God.
torture.
Oh, no.
This is awful.
And they used, this is like, again, dark area of our history,
this
right?
is awful.
They used like mental patients, prisoners, drug addicts, prostitutes.
Oh my God.
That's sad.
And it is really sad. And they had no like medical or scientific oversight. In fact, one Frank Olson, he committed suicide. And so anyway, I guess it's just like this has now been, it was declassified in 2001. People have come out and apologized. This definitely happened. We have like veterans who have come out and been like, yeah, I was studied in
This
these
is
studies.
awful.
But the point is, it's like the government, this is what I'm seeing about all these conspiracy theories. Like, you can't say the government would never do this because
Because
they've
have.
straight up been
Yeah.
like, yeah, we did it. Oops, that was embarrassing. Right. So I think it's like not outside the realm of possibility that there were like,
Yeah, they were definitely doing stuff.
yeah, doing
Yeah.
studies. I don't know if I trust all these people that were like, that they're reliable.
With time
people.
travel and all that
Yes,
jazz.
and, like,
yeah.
But like, I could believe that there was studies happening.
Oh, yeah.
And I do want to just
100%.
throw the MK Ultra before Kate gives us her perspective. I just want to throw this back in and come full circle with Stranger Things, that Eleven's mom, ultra-like experiment,
Oh, my gosh.
while she was pregnant with 11, and that's how 11 got her
Power.
Her psychic abilities.
Oh my God.
So
This is crazy.
and we know too about like all these drug, like the dolphin experiments.
Shut up.
When they were giving the dolphins the LSD and trying to teach them how to speak English.
No.
Oh, no.
No.
You guys have heard about this, right?
Yes. But, you know, we could do an episode on it.
I mean, there's no conspiracy. The lady's
Yeah.
like, yeah, it definitely happened.
Did they speak?
No, they paid this lady moved to like the Bahamas or something,
Yeah.
and like lived
This is absolutely
with
wild.
a dolphin.
Yeah.
So there's like if you can look at pictures online. We'll post them.
Yeah.
It's like it looks kind of like a little like apartment with like water, like
And she
waist
just
high.
like lived with it.
Yeah, but it gets,
Oh, yes.
it gets real
It
inappropriate
gets-
because the dolphin couldn't. He was like a hormonal adolescent and couldn't focus
Oh,
on his
my
studies,
God.
and so she had to get him
She-
to focus by
That
helping
woman,
him out.
that woman had sexual relations with that dolphin.
Oh my God. No. No way.
She's like, I relieved him, and then I could get him to focus for an hour. And she would, but they would
my
give him
God.
LSD because people really thought that like that they could teach these dolphins to talk.
Oh
And
my
spoiler
God.
alert, dolphins
Don't
can't
talk.
talk.
Right.
So
Allegedly.
I'm just saying that
They
again,
have better.
like,
they
we
should.
know
They should know better that it's about the gorillas.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to do it on the
Yeah.
gorillas.
What the heck?
Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but I think for sure they're like, we have all this evidence where they've been like, we've done these studies, we've given
Yeah.
drugs to people unknowingly to animals, we've experimented on.
They're not
on
above
people.
experiment.
Yeah, they definitely though have like targeted at-risk populations, like
Yeah.
perhaps young children
This is awful.
or homeless people. So I 100%, I don't believe the time travel aspect of it.
MK Ultra. I'm sorry. Sounds a lot like Montauk.
Mm-hmm.
Do we think that it just got transferred somewhere else? Because the government put a stop to it, right?
Mhm.
They were like, "This is not
1973, and then
Well-
you think someone was like, "I'm not done."
exactly."
Yeah.
Someone was like, "You know what? I'm gonna keep doing this."
Or maybe they declassified aspects of it to like get our attention away
Well, it
They,
wasn't
like-
declassified until
recently.
like 2001, but the
Quote,
experiment
unquote,
ended in the
recently.
70s. Yeah.
So like maybe they declassified it because people were getting so suspicious about what was happening.
oh, in Montauk.
And then they're like, "Yeah, we did it." And then, but
Oh,
only
kinda like the
admitted to-
aliens?
yeah, and like
yeah,
only
but like if we
admitted
tell
to
you
some
this
of it.
part, like a little bit of the truth, then you'll ignore the rest of it.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I was
that's
about
what
to say
happened.
kind of like when they told us that aliens were real.
Yeah.
And no one cared.
yeah, zero.
I
people.
care. I care. Hold
Yeah.
on.
But like, you weren't like,
yeah, because I knew that aliens. I already believed in aliens.
yeah.
I mean, I think too one of the other theories that I saw online too was like, okay, if they were doing some of these kind of like on page with us. Like if something was happening here, but maybe not to the extent that these people are claiming, like maybe they were drugging these people, giving them LSD or whatever. And so now they're like
memories are all-
hallucinating.
Oh,
That makes
this is
sense.
what happened.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you mess with people's minds, you get not good historians.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
And
start
these,
hallucinating.
that's
Your
the thing.
memories are not accurate.
So I think,
Oh, your memories are repressed. Is that what you're saying?
Oh. I think my opinion in the end is that 100% they were experimenting on things. 100% they were doing suspicious activity, like experimenting on people's minds, animals, whatever. But I don't, like you said, I don't think time travel was one of them. I think these historians, the people who have come forward to talk about this, Al, whatever, he was just tortured on. You know what I mean? Like, there's no way. There's no way.
Okay, going back to the Philadelphia experiment, I'm going to give an option in which this could happen.
All right, here we go. Earth 44.
I would like to say that this is the option I'm presenting, that if people could buy into it, this is the option. But I would also like to go on record and say I don't necessarily believe this one.
She's just being devil's advocate.
I am going to say that yes, the government has done something sketchy at Montauk. Yes, it could be mind control that they were working on, because that was a big thing during, like, this was all coming out, like, after World War II, the Cold War.
Yeah,
They're trying to
wanted all this.
develop tactics because we were in such a state that it was very like touch and go. Were we going to go to war with the USSR? So they were trying to come up with tactics to use in a military fashion. So they were trying to come up with mind control, whatever, which is not whatever, but they were doing that. I believe that they were doing that. And that's what they're saying with MK Ultra, is that, we were conducting experiments. But let's talk about, there are too many things that happened in Montauk that it's just the filling of the tunnels, the huge antenna for what? They won't even say what the Montauk building was used for. It was built.
There's too much unknown.
There's way too much unknown.
The
And then they
secrecy.
just it just gets shut down. Why? Like, there is something that happened there.
Yeah.
Maybe there is still a Vecna like creature down in there. I don't know. Maybe that is really where we got the internet in 1983.
I believe that.
We had some sort of extraterrestrial ET moment
I believe that.
in Montauk. Sure, we could go with that. Maybe we met the aliens and they're the ones that landed on the moon. And that's the footage we used. So that's where I stand as far as, like, I think something happened. I think there's a lot of questions. I think that it is very gray, and I think it's intentionally gray. They want us to not know. It's the banana antenna. Come on.
Keeping us on our toes.
They were definitely trying to do something with that antenna.
Well, I thought the purpose of the antenna was, like, if we were to be attacked, like, that's a port city, right? That's like the coast. And so that was going to be one of our, like, eastern defense systems. And so I thought that was kind of the purpose of the antenna, was like to kind of be radar and, like, alert us if.
But it's an Air Force base. Why wouldn't it be a Navy base? That's a ship.
Well, I did say port because I meant it was coastal is what I'm trying to say. Like,
Also, why were the tunnels?
Don't be reasonable, Megan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Megan. Come on. Why were the tunnels, like, filled in? That's just weird.
There's too much.
That's weird.
There's too much.
Okay, let's give you option B, in which Al Bielek was booted out of the Montauk project, wasn't he?
They ended it.
Right.
Yes, with this whole plan about the time is now.
Oh, right. I
That
forgot
was all
already.
of them conspiring to end this because they were like, it's gone too far.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he
But
gets
that's remember we thought last week that maybe by ending it, he pissed someone off.
Yes.
And then somehow then he gets thrown back in time.
Yeah. So he pissed somebody off, maybe Double D,
Final D.
Final D, Vecna, and booted him to another timeline, booted him to a different dimension. That's the only way I
don't know.
believe that anything like that happened.
I don't know, man. This whole thing is like,
Megan, what do you believe?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think something happened. I definitely don't believe Stuart Swerdlow. he was the guy in the documentary. He was telling his story.
Oh,
It
yes.
was being all big.
Yeah.
Don't believe. So I don't know if I believe these individuals we have here
Like they were the ones that were getting like experimented on, but maybe not like, they're putting them in a chair and trying to reach other dimensions.
Yeah.
No.
Maybe they're like giving them
It's
some
too much
LSD
for
when they're
me.
like 10 years old. And,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so sad.
Making them try to crush Diet Coke cans with their mind.
If I got free Diet Coke out of it, I probably would try.
Yeah, sure, I'll do that.
Yeah. Free lifetime supply and a lot of truck.
You telling me all I got to do is a little LSD for
I'm gonna
Diet
get
Coke?
a lifetime supply of Diet Coke and trauma. Already got it.
Really want Diet Coke to sponsor us, guys.
Yeah. This one was fun.
We'll defer to you guys. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
This one is
Because
wild.
I'm having a hard time with
It's
this.
very complicated, and I feel like really the timelines make it like my head really hurts now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just think that like no wonder the brothers heard about this conspiracy and was like, let's make this a show.
It's good material.
It's good material.
As
it
Colleen
makes-
often says, like this story you're telling is like good TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is good.
Yeah, this is good.
I've watched the show. So
I love the show. I can't wait for season 5.
Yeah. The final season.
Yeah, the final season.
Yeah, maybe they'll fill the tunnels in.
Final D. I would like to pose that in a future podcast episode we can cover season 5 of the
Yeah, on our
Stranger.
when we're famous enough
Patreon.
and you guys pay us to do extras, we'll do this for you.
Yeah. When we
Yeah.
have a Patreon or
Patreon
subscription,
account, yeah.
subscription.
But yeah, I guess that's the Montauk experiment.
Yeah, the Montauk experiment.
So what's our poll going to be for our listeners, Kate? What are their options?
Okay, Montauk project never happened. There was never anything shady. They just used it as some sort of like defense place
Right.
rolls
to
her
monitor for planes and boats.
like some kind
Right.
of military base during
Right.
a war. I roll.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or
it was
B.
after a
It
war.
was like during the Cold War.
Oh, okay.
Okay, B.
B, something shady happened in Montauk that we don't know about.
Shippy Shady.
Shippy shady. Yeah. C, secret option C. The Philadelphia experiment worked. And all of these time hopping places happened.
Whoa.
And Al Bielek was on Earth 44 where
Right.
the Montauk experiment actually happened
Right.
and got booted off the timeline by Double D Vecna,
right.
who is actually just creating havoc on Earth 44.
Oh my God.
And that's why his repressed memories come back, because he's like, wait, this happened to me, but it wasn't on the same timeline.
So when we post that poll, we're going to have to shorten
It'll be
those
paraphrased.
options down. But thank you, Kate.
Secret option C.
Yeah. Can I insert option D?
Yeah. D's nuts.
Yeah. Okay, children.
Shout out to Bourbon Boy.
All right. Thanks for joining us. I think that's it. Anything else you guys have?
No, I got nothing.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, thanks,
Well,
guys.
Thanks for joining us, Spoil Heads, and we look forward to seeing you next Tuesday on
3 Scheme Queens.